Hello everyone, I'm Hollis. Today, I will introduce the function of shortening in the Longxing design pattern system. We can select the shortening mode on the function line 230. Here are three shortening modes: auto shortening, shortening 1, shortening 2. The auto shortening means the system will calculate the average shortening position according to the narrow needles. Next, as the below pattern shows, you see this pattern, double set narrow many needles. For in this case, we need to use shortening function. Click function line 230, then select auto shortening and fill 8 value. Compare and check the compare result. You see the shortening position already calculated by system. Next is shortening 1. Number 189 and number 190 codes are used on narrowing needles from left to right. Number 199 and number 200 codes are used on narrow needles from right to left. The shortening codes on the left and the right must be used together. You see, the number 189 or number 200 code must be integral times of the number 190 or number 199 code. The shortening regular as the below picture shows. The up picture is the left shortening regular. You see the narrowing way according to the arrow direction. The down picture is right shortening regular. Then, as the below pattern shows, you see the left side narrow 8 needles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right side also narrowing 8 needles. The left side is number 189 and number 190 shortening codes. The right side is number 199 and number 200 shortening codes. Click function line 230. Select shortening 1. Fill 9 value. Compare and check the compare result. You see the narrowing way like this. a shortening 1 4x4. Same with the shortening 1, except for 4x4 transfer part. Click function line 230. Select shortening 1 4x4. Compile and check the compile result. You see, the narrowing way is 4x4 transfer. If you want to use shortening 2 and shortening 2 4x4, you can check by yourself and fill 11 or 12 on the function line 230. Because the shortening 1 will cause the loop broken. So here we select shortening 2 as an example. Compile and check the compile result. You see, this area is shortening 2 narrowing way. Detail as the below picture shows. The red arrow is the first step narrowing. On the same, the blue arrow is the second tab narrowing. For the next, let's know about action macro and narrowing macro. The action macro not suitable for auto shortening, as the below pattern shows. You see here we select shortening 1. If the shortening row has back knitting or other knitting action, you need to set shortening action mark row and fill one value like this. The action mark row after ribbing finish and not affect other rows. Compile and check the compile result. You see, the front needle transfer 4 needles. Actually, on the machine, suppose the ranking is on the back side. The ranking is moving 4 needles left first, then transfer to back. The loop is directly go to the back needle bed. That's why the loop will not broken when we move 4 needles. Detail as the below picture shows. You see the narrowing way according to the red and blue arrow. The front needle transfer 4 needle, then transfer 2 needle, are the same. The front needle transfer for needle, then transfer to front needle. The front needle transfer 4 needles, then transfer 2 needles. Other needles same. The back needle firstly transfer to front needle, then transfer 4 needles, transfer 2 needles. You say front needle transfer to front needle, back needle same. Next, let's know about the narrowing mark rule. Generally, it is used for narrow needles after auto shortening rule. Then, as the below pattern shows, you see this row we set auto shortening, middle row we fill narrowing mark sign on the function line 230. The middle row no carry out knitting action. The last row we can set narrowing needles. Here we set narrowing 2 needles. Compare and check the compare result. You see the middle row no knitting action. For the next, let's know about the maximum of racking needles. Set the maximum of racking needles according to the machine gauge and the machine type. For example, the old machine's racking distance is 1 inch, so 5 gauge machine we need to set 5 racking needles. 12 gauge machine we need to set 12 racking needles. Some new machines' distance is 2 inches, so 5 gauge machine we can set 10 racking needles. Sometimes narrowing small needles we no need to set it, but sometimes narrowing many needles and racking needles is small. For in this case, we need to set the maximum of racking needles on the function line 230. Click function line 230. Right click. Here input value we can set the maximum of racking needles. When we no set the maximum of racking needles, the narrowing way also influenced by the machine gauge. Here we already set 5 gauge machine. Compare and check the compare result. You see the maximum of racking needles is 5. In fact, it can narrow 10 needles because the narrowing will firstly move to left side 5 needles. when we set the maximum of rocking needles is 12. Compile and check the compile again. Here we select the first option. Click function line 208. You see the rocking numbers collaborate with 100 and 112 transfer codes working together. Are the same. Next, let's see the cable pattern 3x3. You see the left and right side have 2 back needles. Compile and check the compile result. You see, when the middle needle transfer, the back needle may be caused the pattern broken. For in this case, click function line 230. Select surrounding tissue transfer to front. Compile and check the compile result. You see the back needle transfer to front needle. When the middle needle transfer finishes, the front needle transfer to back needle. So this is about the special treatment of shortening. So far, today's course is over. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye everyone.